And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of GMAT Club's YouTube debriefs. My name is Evan. You may know me by my forum name, Nightblade354. And today we are joined by Samir. Samir got a 700 in what I believe in just 2 attempts, 2 months. You see, folks, even I don't know this story. And why is that? I say this for every video that I do. It's for 2 reasons. One, I'm lazy, like everyone else who's going to potentially read these debriefs. So there's that. But the second reason, and this goes hand in hand with said laziness, is because I know all of you aren't going to read his debrief, and because I don't want to assume something that maybe some of you may or may not know, I go in completely blank slated. For those of you who were trying to join us over the weekend, I apologize. We did have to delay it. We are here today. We are here now. We're all excited. We're all happy. We're all healthy. But enough about me rambling on here. Let's introduce the man of the hour, Samir. Welcome.
Hello, Evan. Thank you.
He's not the most talkative. There we go. He's not the most talkative person on the forum for nothing, folks. Samir, before we jump into all these amazing questions I have for us here today, I want to hear from you just about your background. Introduce yourself to our lovely audience. Tell them, who is Samir?
Yeah, sure.
It's a deep question, I know.
Yeah, it is. So I'm working in the IT industry right now. Before this, I have worked in automobile industry. Total work experience is more than 5 years, and I graduated in mechanical engineering. And one of the other important thing is I did my primary and secondary education in Marathi medium. So the subjects like history, geography, those were in my native language.
Wonderful. Well, again, we are excited to have you on here. There's a reason you got Q50. Clearly, your engineering background paid dividends there.
Yes.
First off, Samir, we're getting some pickup on our end when it comes to the microphone rubbing against your shirt. Would you mind trying to, as best you can, to maybe do what I'm doing, just like try and hold it out in front of you?
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. And somebody said they have the same bachelor's as well. So good audience here from Gary Kapoor. And by the way, folks, if I butcher your last name, I apologize. If I butcher your first name, I apologize. If you want to ask a question, you can. I have a whole slate of questions I'm going to ask Samir, but if I don't hit one that you want to ask, please type it in the chat, and I promise to get to it at the end. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this program, do know that I put emphasis on being completely candid and making sure that everyone understands that everything they hear, wow, that's funny, is completely honest. We are not here to sell you anything. We're not here to try and pump our sponsors. Yes, there are people who sponsor GMAT Club, and they are test prep companies and consultants. Everything that is said here is completely unpaid for, unsolicited. If Samir wants to bash one of our sponsors, I encourage it. If he wants to praise one of our sponsors, good for them. They get a nice bump in the ratings. This is meant to be completely honest and open, and it should never be viewed in any other way. So with that said, Samir, are you ready? Because I think our audience.
Yeah.
Awesome. My first question to you is, what made you decide to take the GMAT, and what was the first thing you did after deciding to take the GMAT?
Actually, doing an MBA was in my mind during my college years only. But once the job got started, I kind of got caught up in all the work, and I missed out. And after last year only, during the beginning of the last year, I started thinking about my MBA, and in the June last year, I started studying for it. So I started with the CAT. This is Indian exam for MBA entrances. So I started with it, and I started looking for colleges, what exams they accept. And then because my experience was higher, I saw that GMAT is most preferred one for executive MBA, 1 year program.
And indeed it is. Now, folks, no, the GMAT isn't the exclusive test you can take. I, for one, took the GRE. So I also took the LSAT and a whole bunch of other standardized tests because, frankly, I'm a Satanist. A sadist, not a Satanist. I believe in God. I don't worship, the devil. So we'll edit that out later. But point being, the GMAT is not your only option. But Samir, so you looked at the GMAT and you said, okay, this is the option for an executive MBA. You took the CAT to, I guess, give yourself that first starting point. Can you, and by the way, here is, Sarah's debrief, which I mentioned earlier, which I have not read. So I'm flying blind here, as I hope some of you are. What was the first thing you did after taking that test? So I have to imagine you were Googling like a madman. You were saying, okay, how do I study for the GMAT? What sources can I use? Now I'm sure you're going to friends and family thinking about how you could leverage them. Talk to me about that process that got the ball rolling.
Yeah. I started Googling for GMAT mock, and I came across EGMAT mock. And I first gave that mock, and my first score was 520 with a Q44 and V19 or 18 something.
Okay, so you took EGMAT, you took one of their practice tests, you did 520, which for those of you in the audience isn't a great score. Now, starting out, it's not terrible, but it's not a good score. Samir, you looked at that score. What'd you think?
First thought, Q44 is good. So I didn't even brush up my quant skill, and I still got Q44. So that was good. But the V19 was, a little bit embarrassing.
So that's your baseline score there, just for everyone keeping score here. Q44, V19, we can see he had a tremendous rise in both, and subsequently went from a 520 to a 710. What did you, again, take me through the steps that you diagnose it. You say, okay, quant's strong, could probably maybe use a little touch up, but verbal's my area of improvement here. What did you do at that point? Did you sign up for EGMAT because you were impressed with their mock test? Did you look to another source? Did you buy books? How did you interpret your test, and what did you do after it?
When I gave that first mock, I didn't know, what company mock I'm giving. I just gave it, and I saw the analysis. So actually, during that test only, I was not much understanding verbal section. I was, guessing only. You can see V19 is, guesswork only.
Yeah, not great.
So, yeah.
Not
after
great.
that, I searched for courses on the Google, and courses that I know before was the Magoosh. I heard about it from my friends. So I took that one first.
Okay, so we signed up for Magoosh, and this is in June of 2021, correct?
July 2021. I signed up
July
for
2021.
Magoosh.
And in June, I want to take a step back here and ask, what was your timetable like? Like, were you hoping to get a 700 or a 710? Whichever it is, apparently that number magically changed since we've been doing this. Was your goal to do that in 2 months? Was it to get an 800 in 6 months? What was your mindset going into this test?
At that time, I thought about 700 score and 6 months.
Okay, so in my opinion, very realistic. And for those of you watching, I know it's late in India, so if it's our American audience, if it's our Indian audience, if it's those in China, those in Europe, welcome. Love all of you guys and gals and whatever else you want to identify by. That is a very realistic timetable that you set forth for yourself, which is, I've had people come on here and say, oh yeah, I want a 750 and I want to do it in 3 months. And I want to stay for an hour an hour a day. Gee, no wonder you didn't get it in 3 months. Or no, they want a 730 and they were going to study for 10 hours a day. And by the 3 month mark, they were getting 650 and they had burned themselves out. Gee, no wonder you didn't hit your score. So you were very realistic with these expectations.
Yeah.
And so you start with
Yeah.
Magoosh, which, by the way, I've heard interesting things. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard good things about them on the GRE. I've heard mixed reviews on the GMAT. So tell us about your experience with Magoosh.
Yeah. So I signed up for Magoosh in July last year, and I started with verbal because my it was my weaker section, and at the start only I was not much understanding. I got the grammar and lessons. Lessons were good, but as soon as I got the question, hard level questions, and I was not able to do well. So even on a CR, I was taking like 4 or 5 minutes just to answer that question, just
My
to
pride,
read.
my pride and joy, critical reasoning. Well, tell me how you were studying, because a lot of our audience, they're not students. They work like you and I.
Yeah.
Were you studying in the morning because you're a morning person? Were you studying in the afternoon, taking your lunch break? Was it was it during the evening? What was that like for you?
For me, I split up in the morning and evening. So 1+ hour in the morning and 1+ hour in the evening. So that's how I was studying.
Interesting. And can you tell us how you were studying? So in the morning, was it learning the fundamentals and the materials, and then at night was it doing practice questions, or was it doing material and practice questions in the morning and reviewing at night?
Nothing as such, but I was, following in the order what is given in the course. So I will
Okay.
I will do the lesson first, and right after that, I will take a quiz on the same topic. Uh, yeah,
Oh, okay. So you've started Magoosh. I think
yeah.
we've established that. This is July. When did you feel, assuming you did make any progress with Magoosh, when did you feel you were starting to see progress and started to feel like you were seeing some success? And when did you start to feel like you were hitting a wall in your studying?
Yeah, I will. I studied with Babush for around 2 to 3 months, and I, revised all the question multiple times. You know, just uh, get used to that much English grammar and big passages. And after that, I gave the official prep mock, and
Okay, so just to set the audience straight, again on time frame here, one hour in the morning, 1 hour at night. You're doing the Magoosh practice questions and following their curriculum. You're committing to it. You're doing this for 2 to 3 months. So August, September. So we're now into September or October of 2021. Do I have that right?
yeah.
And you take your test, an official take. How'd you do?
Uh, I scored 630 with Q49 and V27.
Q Q 39 or 49?
Q49
Okay.
and V27.
Okay. So we saw
So,
a 3-point increase in quant, and we saw
yeah.
an 8-point increase in verbal.
Yeah.
So we've taken a step. It's not a colossal step, but it is a step.
Yeah.
And you got your 630. How did you feel in that moment when you took your very first test and you're looking at the score and you're saying 630?
Yeah. Actually, I was satisfied with the score. I spent around
Wow, plot twist.
2.5 months uh, with a 2.5 months of investment of time. I got to 630. So I thought maybe 4 more months and I will go to 700.
Okay, so we're now September, October. We've said, you know what, 630? Good stepping stone. We've studied for a couple of
Yeah.
months. I reviewed this curriculum. Would you say you went through Magoosh pretty thoroughly?
I bought, it was only a short course, uh, not the premium one. So,
But
yeah,
would you say you
if you
you
know,
did you committed enough time to go through their entire curriculum that they afforded you?
yeah.
Okay.
I went to entire detail and I also reviewed it. So I also went to far more detail.
Okay. So we used Magoosh. We practiced. 2 hours a day, 3 months, we go from a 520, I think that's what it was, to a 630. 110-point increase. Massive.
Yeah.
Not colossal. Again, we were hoping for 700, but 520 to 630. Good step.
Yeah.
What did you do once you said, yep, all right, study for a couple more months where I can get to 700? What'd you do differently now that we're looking at taking a second test? What'd you do differently from the first time? And actually, if I could step back before you answer that, when did you know to take your first real exam?
I decided to take during January or February.
But so you took your real first exam, again, you got that 630. At what point in your mind did you say, you know what, I'm ready for an attempt here? Was it when you finished a Magoosh course? Was it when your practice tests were slowly going up and getting to a good range? What was the trigger there?
Actually, about the first attempt, I did not decide any date. I decided that when I score 700 on the mocks, then I will give the, GMAT.
Oh, wait, so you were scoring 700 on your mocks?
No. I decided when I will score 700 on the mocks, then I will give the GMAT. So at that time, during the October, I was around 630 only.
Oh, okay, and then you scored a 630 consequently. So, okay. So this was more just to, I guess, qualify it to see, yep, I am where I am officially.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're moving on to our second attempt, which we're now going to commit an additional 3 to 4 months. You said you want to take it around January or February. What did you do differently between your first attempt and your second attempt?
No, Evan, actually, this I'm talking about 630. It's prep mock. It's not the GMAT.
Oh, I
mock.
apologize. I thought this was a real exam that you took.
No, prep mock.
Oh, okay. So you took a prep mock, an official test, but not an official take, and you got 630. Yeah. Okay. So that had to make you a little bit probably excited. Okay. So now we're at 630. What did you do now knowing that you have an official 630? What did you do from that point onward?
So at that time, I started looking on the Google for course, and I came across, GMAT
because
course.
You did not feel Magoosh was going to get you to a 700, correct?
Actually, I bought, that small version, small pack, and I completed all the questions. So I had to get another resource.
Okay. And what sources did you find?
So I looked up on the GMAT Club for all the courses, and
you found GMAT Club.
Yeah. And there is.
Hallelujah! You found the source.
Actually, I looked up for all the courses there, and there were around EGMAT and GMAT Vids, Magoosh, all there, and I compared them, and I read the reviews, and I think EGMAT was the one that captured my attention, and next day only I subscribed for EGMAT.
Okay, so the company that you took the original mock for, now you're going to use their services. Okay, so you start EGMAT. Did you use any other resources, any other guides, any other platforms, or was it strictly EGMAT?
Yeah, no other source. After that, it was only EGMAT for next around 6 months.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of blowing that timetable out of the water here. Now we're going 6 months. So you're using EGMAT. Are you using GMAT Club in any way?
Towards end of my preparation before my
we can get to that later. We can get to that later. All right. So we've picked up EGMAT. You're studying for 6 months. As you're picking up EGMAT, did your study habits change at all? So did you continue with the 1 hour in morning, 1 or 2 hour at night, or was it the same thing, which is I'm going to commit to their plan, to their platform. I'm going to follow the curriculum and do 1 hour in the morning, couple hours at night, and we're going to call it a day?
No, at that time, actually, I was working at the work. I was working on one project from US. So I need to work late. I started work around 3 p.m. and work till 12 in the evening. So in the morning, I had a lot of time to study. So when I took the EGMAT, I was spending a lot more time. I was spending around 4 hours in the morning.
Ooh, okay, so we've upped our study time a little bit here.
Yeah.
And let me ask, are you, again, strictly following the curriculum, or are you doing practice problems and practice sets in conjunction with it?
No, I'm following the curriculum in
Okay.
the exact order they have given.
So we're following the curriculum, we're on EGMAT. Life tends to get busy, I think, as you've witnessed here. You were getting busy at night, you were working late hours. This isn't related necessarily to the GMAT, but it is about your mental health, which is, how did you keep yourself distracted? And for those who are watching this now or in the future, do know that I say this in most videos. The GMAT requires sacrifice. The GRE requires sacrifice. Same as business school. You're going to sacrifice either your social life or part of your social life, or sleep, or exercise, or television enjoyment. Something in your life has to give to make up for these hours that you need to commit to this test. It's not a simple, I'm just going to study no matter what and maintain a happy, balanced life. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. So Samir, how did you, studying all these hours, how did you maintain some balance in your life?
Actually, for refreshment, little bit exercise and walks. That was very helpful during this time.
So you were
And
exercising.
yeah,
You hit the gym at all?
a little bit
You
sometimes.
bench?
No,
No, not muscle guy, not pumping iron.
I will. Now that you are stressing benching, I will.
I mean, dude, girls for the curls for the girls. Sun's out, guns out. That's the only reason to go to the gym. But okay, so mental health important. You were exercising. You're now studying for 3 to 4 months. We're into 2022, the lovely year that we are currently in. Do I have that timetable correct?
Yeah. So last year of October, I started with EGMAT, and till the March, I was using that course.
And were you taking practice tests throughout your studies with EGMAT? And if so, were they the EGMAT mocks, or were you taking official mocks sprinkled in there?
No, actually, first 4 months I did entirely the course, no mocks at all.
Oh,
And
wow.
after
Okay,
that,
so
I
through
gave.
March here, I'm doing the curriculum. Everybody else, go away.
Yeah.
So then what changed? So in March, let's say February, March, you've decided you're going to do what? Did you finish the curriculum, I assume?
Yeah, during around January, I finished the curriculum, and after that, I was taking mocks and then preparing again, then taking mocks again.
Okay, so now we're taking mocks a little more consistently.
Yeah.
And were you taking official ones, or were you taking EGMAT and MGMAT and other practitioners of the exam?
Both mixed.
Okay. And would you say your results were consistent? I know a lot of students, in fact, somebody was asking on the forum this morning, what mock tests would people recommend? I tend to say the official ones are the only ones that mean anything. If you need to practice in terms of your timing or to build endurance, I mean, MGMAT, Manhattan GMAT tends to be the ones that I like to refer to. How did you feel EGMAT and the others were in quality?
During this time, I gave EGMAT and official prep mocks on the MBA.com. So those
I did
ones
not
I
post
gave.
that, just for in case anybody was wondering. I do not legally stand by that comment. We do not guarantee a boost of your score if you like this video. Let's be clear here. I don't want to get lawyers involved again. So, but please, I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah. So I was giving EGMAT mocks and prep mocks, and I was scoring consistently now. I was scoring 680 to 700 during this time.
Okay, and how that compared to the official mocks?
Yeah, official mocks also. I was scoring, 680 on both the official mock I took during that time. So
Oh,
680
okay.
was on the official mocks.
So you're saying that EGMAT, um, you're saying that EGMAT in particular was semi-effective in being predictive of a score.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So I though somebody just asked this, and I'm frankly I'm going to follow up with it right now and post it. How many mock exams did you take once you started actually taking them, and what frequency was it?
Okay. So initially I was taking, you know, during February, March, and April, I took around, one or two mock each month.
Okay, so one every 2 weeks, give or take.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, folks, that's a really good pace. If you're taking a mock every day or maybe every 3 days, you're insane. I recommend doing one mock a week at most because you're gonna burn yourself out. You still have to study. Mocks are meant to give you a baseline for your score, to build endurance for the actual exam, and to give yourself that mindset to help maybe deal with anxiety a little bit better. They're not meant to be the resource you study with. So if you're taking 50 mocks, you're doing something wrong in your studies. I hope this isn't breaking news to anybody. If so, I'm sorry, but good news, you always time to turn it around. So you were taking mocks every couple of weeks. So that means, I mean, how many would you say you took? Ballpark. Say 5, 10, 12?
No, initially I was taking, after 15 days, but recently during the as the exam date came close, I was taking, once every week.
And so we're getting geared up. We're getting ready for our exam. It's game time. You've gotten a 680, so we've seen another 50-point increase on from where we were last time with the official mock exam, which meant that you were comfortable to take the exam again. Were you hoping for a 680, or were you hoping that it was close enough that maybe you get lucky, maybe you squeak out a 700?
So at the around April, I entirely completed my EGMAT course, and I was still around 680 and 700. So at that point, my verbal score was 34, 35. So there I was a little bit uncomfortable with the score. So I wanted to move to 37, 38. Yeah. So to improve even more, I took GMAT Whiz course that time at that point.
Ah, okay. So we've used Magoosh. They got us that first step. We took
Yeah,
EGMAT, which again, Magoosh, if I recall, is 630. EGMAT gets us to 680. Now we're
yeah,
going to GMAT Whiz, correct?
yeah, yeah,
And would you say, I assume because you strike me as a creature of habit, let me guess, you followed the curriculum.
yeah.
Now, were you doing quant and verbal? Because your quant was pretty strong. I mean, you were already at a Q49 prior to EGMAT. So were you focusing exclusively on the verbal side of this, or were you hoping to get to that Q51 and just also inch up verbal?
Yeah, I was focusing only on the verbal and mainly on the SC and RC only.
So how were you supplementing your studies for quant? Or were you just saying, you know what, I trust myself, I'm good, I've got this?
Yeah, I was actually when I completed a EGMAT course, I had studied quant enough. So during GMAT Viz, I did not study quant on that course.
Okay, so you did do the EGMAT, you did the quant side there. You probably
Hmm.
solidified your quant skills, but you wanted
Hmm.
more. So GMAT Whiz verbal.
Yeah.
We're now, again, if I recall, we're in February or March.
Uh, so in
Or
the
wait,
April, I finished EGMAT and then I took GMAT Viz.
okay, so
So hmm,
April we did EGMAT, we go to GMAT Whiz. How
yeah,
long did you study with GMAT Whiz?
2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's folks, for those of you who are wondering how he scored 700 in 2 months, Now we're getting to the meat of this story. It only took a half hour to get here. Oh, for anyone wondering, I like to do the Count of Monte Cristo type of thing. I like to just take us along, build the story, and then we can hit the crescendo. And for those wondering, yes, I have read the book. It's right here. Wonderful book, amazing book, and highly recommended. But I did not write it. So that is not a shill for anyone or anything, just simply giving you an idea of what a good book is. Now we're on to our 2-month sprint. GMAT Whiz, 2 months. At what point did you start doing mocks with GMAT Whiz to help give you the idea of, yep, I'm at a 700. My verbal's at 37, 38. I'm good to go here.
Yeah. So after studying, SC and RC on the GMAT Whiz, I gave their mocks as well, and I was scoring around 700.
So actually, let me ask. So for EGMAT and GMAT Whiz, you clearly wanted verbal for both, and your quant did tick up a point, but it was the verbal that you wanted to focus on. Between the two, which would you say spoke to you better as a learner? Would you say EGMAT's verbal side was beneficial to you? And again, I know it's SC, CR, and RC, or was it GMAT Whiz that spoke to you and helped unlock something that you were missing?
So, EGMAT I studied very in a lot detail, and I followed processes and, concept taught, from EGMAT only, and those only I used till my exam. So EGMAT also, EGMAT only clicked me, and that I found a lot helpful.
Did you basically just say I like them both?
No, I liked EGMAT better.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, come on, give me something to work with here. They're both sponsors of GMAT Club. I want to bash somebody. Although, to be fair, they did get you to a V36 GMAT Whiz or GMAT. No, the combination somehow got you there.
Yeah.
Fine. You hear that, sponsors? You're saved. You're saved this time around. But next time I'm doing a video, I'm bashing one of you. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to bash somebody anyway. For those of you watching this, if you want to go to Kaplan or Princeton, stay away. They both suck. I hate them both. You might as well burn your, burn money in front of your eyes. You're going to, in 6 months of your life, you're going to go nowhere with them. Just had to scratch that itch. I need to bash somebody when I'm doing these things. You know what? Duke too. Duke University. If anyone's trying to get an MBA with them, screw them. Duke sucks. They're a dime a dozen university. They're nothing special. I'm tired of people telling me Duke is a special school. They're not. Any alumni who wants to at me or be angry at me, or any adcoms of the school who want to at me, please do so on GMAT Club. Happy to respond. Again, had to scratch that itch too. But going back, we use GMAT Whiz, EGMAT. We're finally there. We're taking practice tests. We're getting that 700.
Yeah.
Test day comes. So if I have this right, we're doing this now in June of 2022.
Yeah.
So we've taken a year here. We've gone, how am I going to draw a circle here? No, other way around. There we go. Full circle. That was a squiggly line, but nonetheless, full circle here. We've taken a year. We've worked hard. You've sacrificed friends, family, birthdays, you name it. You've put in the time and effort. You sacrificed benching. So you went from being a strong guy to being a shriveled weakling again. Test day. Tell me about test day.
Yeah, so I took appointment for the GMAT test, and it was, July 26th was the test day.
Oh, wait, shoot, I forgot to. Did you apparently, according to our thing here, you used a GMAT form practice test tool?
I used it after my first attempt.
That wasn't in July.
No.
Oh, gosh. All right, I'm jumping ahead of ourselves here. Okay, so we're in July. We've studied for a year, 13 months.
Yeah.
You're ready. You're practice testing right out that line. You're going to get a 700. You'll want it. You need it. You're going to do it. Test day comes. Walk us through.
Yeah. So, when I started the test, the questions felt a little bit different. It was taking a lot longer to solve them questions were not difficult, but they felt little different, and so it was taking longer to solve them on the both quant and verbal. So I did finish the test on time, and but I was not much confident.
And if I may add briefly before you continue on that, folks, so if you're taking any form of practice test, or you're taking any form of either prep company or tutor, always make sure when you're doing verbal, quant doesn't matter. You can take any practice test in the world and use any question. It doesn't really matter. It's almost impossible to screw up a quant question. It is very easy for these practice test companies to screw up writing a verbal question. Samir, that's probably what happened with you, which is you're reading these questions and all those tricks they taught you, all the familiarity you had kind of goes out the window because they weren't teaching you based on official questions. And again, things weren't showing up the way you anticipated them to.
No, actually, I did not practice a lot with official questions.
That's a big pitfall too.
Yeah. So those courses, both EGMAT and GMAT Viz, they taught the skills, but I lacked the official practice. And on the test day, it is the pressure of the first attempt and a little bit of pressure, and I messed up.
What was your score?
On that day, first attempt, I got 620. With,
okay, so we're back down to basically where we were way at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that happened?
Yeah, because actually there is pressure of the first day, and you are not, that much focused. You don't know what to expect on the test, and that takes some energy, and you are not able to concentrate that much on test.
So inexperience.
Yeah, after
And
620,
was it anxiety or nerves potentially that got you a little bit too?
I think surprise of the test. Questions. I was just not able to find the answer.
So it wasn't your day then. It didn't click.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anxiety. It wasn't nerves. It was simply, shoot, this just isn't coming to my mind.
Yeah. Just something happened, and I was not able to get the answer.
Okay, so now we're at a 620. We're into.
You should hear the split.
How did you feel coming out of that exam?
Actually, I after that I saw the videos on the YouTube about the debriefs of the students, and
you mean the debrief you're doing right now? You saw others.
Yeah.
How meta is that?
I think one of them taken by you also.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Love when people watch my videos. And you still came on here, even better. you said, you know what? That guy looked like, or gal had such a fun time answering these awkward questions and being razzed by Evan. I want to do that too. I got to get me a piece of that. All right. So you watch these videos, you were looking for inspiration, I assume, and you found it. You saw the light.
Even I saw one of your videos, and that student gave attempt 6 times. And he scored a 730, I think.
Shoot, hang on, I've done so many of these. Who scored who did it 6 times? That may have been one of my first videos. I think I may have walked through step by step with that guy. It was a guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, all right, at least I got that right. All right, well, so I'm glad that video inspired you. So how did the video help you overcome how you were feeling and get you back up on the horse to study?
Yeah. So firstly, this problem of you don't know what to expect on the first attempt. So I understood that problem, and it felt familiar to me. And so I was I didn't think about that 620. I
Okay,
said,
you didn't think about the 620.
yeah, I said, just let it go. I will try harder and give the attempt again.
By the way, somebody commented his name was Frank. That was the Frank video? I didn't think Frank took it 6 times. I thought it was a guy named John. I thought it was Newcomb.
No, it was an Indian student.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say, because Frank to me was like, no, a rock star. I didn't think he took it 6 times. But Vedant, again, I can't pronounce names. I'm an American. I don't know names. I can't pronounce my name half the time. So I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, but thank you for at least looking into it. But Samir, so please continue. So you've watched the video. You're now over a year into this thing. What did you do at that point to recommit to yourself and help you overcome that hurdle and say, you know what? No, 620 is not me. I'm a 700 guy.
Yeah. So other video I watched on YouTube, this student suggested that similar thing happened to him. He was scoring 700s on mocks, and on the test day he scored 630, I think. And after that time, he took GMAT Club quizzes and test.
Okay, so now you've come back home. You've come to GMAT Club.
Yeah. After that, I took the GMAT Club quiz and test subscription.
Okay. By the way, our tests, I'll be fully honest, our verbal sucks. Spoiler alert. It was written by a person from Kaplan many years ago. So no wonder they suck. I think we're actually trying to update them. And I tried at one point and I kind of failed at it. So we are trying to retool it. The Quant, on the other hand, is written by Bunel, the supercomputer, the AI.
Yeah.
The myth, the legend. That is better than the GMAT, and frankly, it's far more difficult than the GMAT. What Bunel, for anyone who doesn't know, is a legend of legends, puts me to shame, and frankly, could outsmart anybody and every one of us on quant. So the fact that you were taking his test is impressive.
Yeah,
and you were doing well on them, I assume.
No, actually, GMAT Club tests are a lot harder. So
damn straight they are.
Yeah.
So you used our test. Did you use anything else? Were you using a different prep company? Were you going back to EGMAT or to Magoosh or to GMAT Wiz? What were you doing to help build yourself back up?
No, I had my notes. I was going through them. I was going through my error log.
Okay. So
yeah.
Excuse me. Ha! Muted you that time. You only got one. The error log, for those of you who don't know, is another GMAT Club component. Again, the GMAT Club quizzes are not for free, but the error log is. And what it does is it captures all the questions you take in terms of timers and tests and aggregates them. So you can see trends, you can see timing, you can see categories, you can see type. So highly recommended you use that. But Samir, you used that, and did you feel it helped you?
Yeah, because questions are a lot harder, and practicing on difficult questions on really helps. And about the error logs, it is it is like it is must. You must prepare error logs, and you must go through all the questions, give them sufficient time. Yeah, so error log is very must in the GMAT prep, I think.
Well, actually, can you talk a little bit about that, which is sufficient time committing to it? Elaborate for those watching what you mean.
Yeah, so I will give you an example. So if I take the SC quiz, I take around 15 questions, and after the quiz, I will review that complete all the wrong questions, and those that I found difficult, I will review them, and I will take around even sometimes 2 hours to review those questions, and I fill the error log.
Okay, and how were you reviewing them? Were you redoing them? Were you going through each answer choice and saying, yep, this is where I went wrong, this is where I went right? How were you breaking those down?
I had this, breaking the sentence. I think stop points is what EGMAT calls it. So I was following that process to read sentence, and I was reading the sentence, and I was following the process that I learned in EGMAT. And during my error log filing, I was scanning every error in the SC sentence, for example, every
Okay.
year, every error in the question as well as all the choices. So every error in all the sentences.
And so this is what I was hoping you were going to say, which is that, folks, if you're taking a practice test, or let's say you're even reviewing practice questions, you have to review them. And it's not just, oh, yeah, I got that right, moving on. No, if you could not look at under untimed conditions, if you cannot look at each answer choice and say, yep, this is why this is wrong, this is why this is wrong, this is why this is right, this is why this is wrong, this is why this is wrong. If you cannot do that, you've wasted that question. And that is the difference between those people getting in the low to mid to 600s and those breaking 700. That is the biggest differentiator. So for those watching, I say it in every video, make sure to review, which you did.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
By the way,
It is
was
must.
it the form quiz or the GMAT Club practice test that we're using? Sorry, I get them confused when I talk.
I mainly used forum quiz, and yeah, mainly forum quiz.
So that's where you can build your own quizzes based on questions on the forum.
Yeah, I built my quizzes, and
Right.
also, if I pick 36 questions, then it's test.
So just for anyone confused, the forum quiz option allows you to customize a practice test. Those aren't Brunel's questions unless you want them to be, and you can select them. The practice tests are the mock tests that GMAT Club has written. Those are the ones where our verbal sucks, but our quant is written exclusively by Brunel, if I'm not mistaken, and subsequently is just, a tractor pull and a half to get through, but is incredibly, incredibly valuable if you can actually get through it because of how difficult it is. But so how long did you do that? How long did you use the practice forum tests on the forum, the quiz option, and this review process? What would you say was your timetable there?
So I was taking, forum quiz, and during this time I was, studying around 2 to 3 hours a day. And on the forum quiz, I was, making sections. So if I take SC now, for 4 days, I will do SC only in very much detail, and review them, file error log, all those things I was doing, and I was taking only official questions from the on the forum,
which is important, obviously. Doing official questions is incredibly important, as already discussed. Let me ask, what was your breakdown in terms of time? Was it, because now we're not dealing with a strict course of I can do an hour here, an hour here, and we're all good. Was it practicing 2 hours in the morning and then reviewing at night? What was that like? And was it strictly verbal, or was it quant and verbal? What was your balance there as well?
No, I did more verbal, and in between I took quant quizzes also. So when I took quant, I will take only, mainly hard questions. But on the verbal, I take medium and hard question.
I mean, so in terms of timing, just for our users here, would you say it was 70% verbal, 30% quant? Was it 50-50?
I will say 80-20, 80 verbal.
80-20 verbal. Okay, because that is your weaker spot, and you were just touching up quant. Okay, yeah. You've now studied for 2 more months. Sorry, folks. Somebody just posted something. I need to get rid of that. You've now studied for 2 more months, so August, September. Do I have that time frame right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in September. You're thinking about taking a test again. At what point did you pull the trigger to say, I am ready to run through a brick wall and kill this thing?
My second GMAT appointment was on 6th October.
So what
So
made you confident to take the test again? I guess is what I'm asking.
yeah, actually on the prep box I scored, even 740, 730.
Okay, so it was when you were practice testing here, you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm gonna kill this thing. I'm gonna rock and roll all night. You
yeah,
get to the exam. You've
yeah,
worked for over a year. You've
yeah,
put in the hours. You've put in the time. Again, I reiterate, lost family and friends and birthdays and holidays, and you take the test. How
yeah.
did you feel this time around?
Yeah, I was, confident going in only. So
Okay.
so I knew I will probably get 700 this time.
Which you did. So the questions didn't shock you. You felt confident.
Yeah, yeah, I was confident, throughout the test. During after my, when I was solving my verbal question also, questions were clicking to me. I was, finding answers, unlike last time. Yeah, so I was confident after the verbal section only, and when the const section started, questions were a lot difficult. I think because I was doing well, I think so. That's why.
So now we fast forward. We've
Hmm,
got the test. It's
hmm,
done. The number pops up on your screen.
yeah,
You see
710.
710 or
Yeah,
700. Was it a 710 or 700? I don't know what it is right now.
710.
All right, we had it 700 at the beginning. We'll give you the 10 extra points. You see 710 pop up.
Hmm.
Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you proud? What was your reaction?
Yeah, all the study and hard work really paid off. I was really happy.
So were you lighting off fireworks in the test center?
No, not the fireworks. They don't allow.
What a shame. What a shame. You
Yeah,
missed your
but I
opportunity.
was, very happy.
Okay, so you get your 710. Now, was there ever that thought in your mind of, wait, I was practice testing 740, 750. I can get there. Did you ever
Yeah.
look at that and say, I want to go back? Or is 710, you know what? It's enough. I don't need it anymore. I don't want it anymore. Screw the test and screw GMAT. I'm done.
That I have not decided yet. Right now
Ooh.
I have 710, but I might take a retake.
Okay, so we are still playing with fire, folks. Well, so Samir, let me ask you about your future plans then. So you have your 710. You mentioned
Yeah,
in executive MBA. Is your
yeah.
plan to apply to schools next September? Have you already
No,
applied to schools? What are you thinking?
yeah. Right now I have applied, and that's why right now I'm not studying GMAT.
Do you want to
I will
list the
see.
schools or do you want to keep that secret?
Yeah, I will keep that secret.
All right. So for anyone who is waiting for Samir or I'm sorry, not waiting for him, for those schools that have already received his application and he's waiting to hear back from them, he seems like a good guy. Got a good score. Took a year plus, so he's got determination, grit, stamina, whole 9 yards. I would I'd give him a shot. I'd give him the interview. Or if he's already had the interview, if he didn't screw it up, he seems well spoken. Maybe give him the acceptance. Why not? Do it. But if one of them's Duke, you're not getting into Duke based on what I just said during this video. So I apologize about that. With that said, before we dive into the questions from our audience, we do have a few here and there, and then I am going to get back to my real day job because for those of you who don't know, yes, I do work outside of GMAT Club. Yes, this is fun. Yes, I do help run the forum. Yes, I am an important person, as the name says, insert important name here. I also do other things. One of them being a full-time job. So, Samir, before we hit these questions and we wrap this thing up, anything you'd like our audience to know, anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So, SC and CR I improved a lot, but RC I was struggling. So what I did to improve there is as I was constantly reading a book. I changed, I read from the different section, finance, marketing, mix up all the topics that usually come on the GMAT RC. So constantly reading throughout is important.
I'll reiterate. Read the classics. That Count of Monte Cristo, yes, is a 1,200-page book. It's a good book. You'll help your reading comprehension. Believe me, reading stuff like that, reading novels, helps your reading comprehension. Well, trust me, blindly trust Evan. Nightblade, same thing. He's more mean than I am, but still. My alter ego, as it were. AB163 asks, and by the way, you couldn't have just, like, if you're an American and you put your full name, you blew an opportunity for me to actually get a name right during this video. What was the strategy you had for quant?
Yeah. So for quant, I was already starting from the good point, and my strategy for the question was firstly understand the question completely, so I shouldn't miss anything. And other important thing is, if the question I find difficult after reading, I should know how much time it will take, and I should decide whether it is too hard, and should I skip this question. That's important in terms of time management for quant.
Crucial. And for those of you thinking, well, hang on, I want to get the hard questions right to prove that I can do them. No. The GMAT will destroy you if you get easy and medium ones right. It rewards, come on, Evan, you gotta speak today. It rewards minimally on the harder ones. So will it give you a little bump? Sure. You get the easy and medium ones wrong, your test, you're screwed. You're not getting a good score. Focus on your fundamentals, your basics, the easy and medium. You get those, you're gonna have a very solid score, and then build on the harder ones thereafter. Gary, who was commenting throughout, said, can someone guide me on how to go through Brunel's questions? My exam's on the 12th. Well, good luck to you. Gary, I'll try and post something on this video at some point. Can you do the GMAT in 4 weeks? That was Simran. I don't know names. Can you do it in 4 weeks? The answer is yes and no. I mean, if you're a genius, there are people who take the GMAT in 2 days and get a 780. Is it likely you're going to get a high score in 4 weeks? The answer is no, because you're going to either burn yourself out or you're not going to have enough time to build your fundamentals. Gary says, any final tips or suggestions for him?
Yeah, so your exam is on 12th December.
Yeah, in 6 days.
I think keep yourself calm and revise your strategies for the test.
That works. Vedant, I know I got the name wrong. Can you share the name of the book again for reading comp? You didn't use a book. You used EGMAT and GMAT was correct?
I think he's talking about other books that I was reading.
So
maybe. Looks like.
Oh, if you're talking about this, Count of Monte Cristo. Great book.
So Vedant, for RC, topics come across science, humanities, economics. So what I read was, I read about, I read Theory of Everything from Stephen Hawking. I read Wealth of Nations. I read not entirely because it's a very good book, but I almost half read Wealth of Nations. Then I read Sapiens. This is one of the book I read.
So, I mean, there are some that believe you can read science and finance and you'll get a better grasp or understanding. Honestly, I've never done enough research to be a proponent or opponent of it, but reading anything will always help you do better on RC no matter what. If you need a specific book for practice, I wrote a guide on it on the forum. I happen to be a big fan of Power Score when it comes to their CR and RC stuff, so I'd recommend that. And I hope that answered your question. And I think we're all out of questions at this point. So, wow, we hit an hour. Honestly, didn't think we would hit an hour. And this is one of my shorter videos, guys. So think about that. We hit an hour talking about things I didn't think we'd get to. So kudos to Samir, kudos to myself. To our audience, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Sorry it was delayed, but hopefully you guys got a lot out of this. Join us in a couple of weeks. We do these every week or every other week. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's somebody else. We do a variety of videos throughout the week that has nothing to do with me. We partner with EGMAT or GMAT Wiz or MGMAT or Tart Test Prep. They come on, they do videos about practicing or about practice tests, so on and so forth, that some of our users find helpful. And also the consultants come on too. So if you need help on essays and stuff like that, another good place. So if you found this debrief helpful, that makes me happy. If you didn't, oh well. Shoot one more question. Have been preparing for a month. We'll be giving at the end. How many mocks should I take before that? If you have it in a month, again, I would recommend doing it once a week at most. And that may be on the higher end. I think, Samir, you would echo that sentiment, which is anything more would burn yourself out.
Yeah. Anything more, you'll burn yourself out. It will not be helpful.
So that
Once
was
a week is perfect.
That was from Anna Mesh. I hope I got that right. But I digress. Folks, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Couldn't remember what day it was.
Yeah.
And hope that you join us here again for upcoming videos. So for me and Samir and the rest of the GMAT Club team, take care, everybody.